Who's responsible to pay for your education? A scholarship fund? The US government? Guess again. The answer to that one is you and your family. But these days, more and more students are feeling that someone else is responsible to provide them with an education.
Getting a college degree is not a right, it is a privilege. And I feel that everybody has to make some kind of a sacrifice.
And I guess a realistic picture for a parent would be there's not going to be funding for every student to get a scholarship, so they need to look at other avenues.
And many times they think that part of the counseling job is to get everyone a scholarship. And that would be wonderful in a perfect world. We'd love that, but it's not going to happen.
There isn't going to be something for everyone just because it is competitive, there is limits. We'll help as many people as we can.
Let's talk reality. First, if you think every student is entitled to a scholarship, it's time to change your thinking. You'll find plenty of competition for scholarships. For every one awarded, 2 are denied. Whether or not you get a scholarship actually has more to do with you than anyone else. It depends on your grades, the college or trade school you want to attend, and what scholarship you apply for. And what about government money? Depending on your circumstances, government grants can be as competitive as scholarships. But contrary to popular belief, you don't always have to be really poor to get a grant. Because the government looks at a lot of factors, you could get some help even with a higher income. Just remember, it's not the government's duty to fund anybody's education. And as the years pass, there are fewer and fewer dollars to go around. The most important thing to remember is this. If you feel automatically entitled to a scholarship or government grant, you could be setting yourself up for trouble. Why? Because it takes financial planning to prepare for a higher education. And if you are expecting someone else to cover all your costs, you probably won't prepare like you need to. But taking your responsibility seriously will affect more than how you prepare for school. It will also affect how you live as a student. The key word here is economize. Somebody once said, if you don't live like a student at school, you will live like one after you graduate. It's true. If you don't tighten your belt as a student, you could face some hefty debt once you're out of school. And debt can seriously reduce your standard of living. It all boils down to this. You're sacrificing now so you can avoid financial problems later on. But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy life.
I've found, as I've seen where I made different income at different levels from part-time to full-time work, that if I would have just stayed at that lower income where I was working, less, that I could have lived on it and been just as happy as I am now. I don't think happiness is tied to money. I just think you learn to live on what you make. If you make more, you just spend more.